Hi there, welcome along to another workout for you to row along to. It's week 3, session 3 if you're on the 6-day plan, which means that this is a bottom tier. And today's session is going to be 30 minutes at 18 strokes a minute and at 2k plus 20. Quite a familiar workout really. Effort level wise, this means it's going to be around about 5 or 6, and speech wise you should be able to speak most of the way through, maybe stopping time to time just to properly catch your breath. So it's really not a tough one today. It's a bottom tier to set you up for tomorrow's or the next day whenever you do session 4 or wherever you put your top effort row, okay? So let's get straight into a warm-up. There's no point in me waffling on anymore. So set your machine, set your drag factor. Remember, I've got a video about that if you don't know what it is. Put your monitor at eye height so you don't have to look up and you don't have to slouch down, and set the strap so it covers the bottom lace in your shoe, or it goes over your toes, so that well, not over your toes, but the kind of crease kind of covers the ball of your foot-ish if you're in socks or bare feet, so you're able to hinge forward properly at the front. Oh, I'm fluffing my lines today. Right, so 4-minute warm-up. Most people would stop, you know. Most people would go take 2, but not me. 4-minute warm-up, 18 strokes per minute, and I'll guide you through it, okay? In 3, 2, 1, go. I mean, some would say maybe I should have more of a work ethic and that I should stop. But you know what? Not that I'm saying my rows need to be entertaining and stuff, but I've got to figure, as you watch me fluff my lines and make errors from time to time, maybe it's more interesting than if I was totally, hey, come on, let's row together, I'm perfect. None of us are perfect. Garfield was right. So, unless I make a massive slip somewhere, I just tend to run with it. You'll notice I've got my lovely Van Halen shorts on today. They're not actually the most comfy to row in, because they're not stretchy, but they look good, don't they? Especially with the black and red t-shirt too. Right, so I've killed enough time that we're just over a minute in, so just, now that you're a little bit warmed up, just think about rocking through your hips into that forward lean and then back lean, okay? And you can't overstate enough that thing of rocking through your hips. It's not a slouch and a bend. It's a rock in both directions, okay? So as you come back, you rock through the hips. As you go forwards again, you rock through your hips. Okay, so let's take one foot out and then continue with some single leg stuff. And still think about rocking through your hips. Okay? As being I'm wearing my Van Halen rock shorts, we're just talking rock today. Rocking through those hips. Don't worry, I'll talk about this stuff. One more here, change feet. I mean, a half-hour row with me just talking about rocking through the hips. So, there's only so many ways you can say that. And even for me, that would get dull. Well, the challenge, I suppose, of how to talk about it for half an hour. But I think the wheels would come off pretty soon. One more here. Both feet in, legs kind of straight, little bend. Let's just do the hip rock and the arms. So it goes back, arms, arms, back. If you're not used to this whole hip rock idea and getting your forward lean set up on the stroke, this is a great drill to do. One more. And if you can't hit the catch right at the front, this is the drill to do. So just straight arms and drive out with your legs. and try and feel that little catch at the front where you pick up the flywheel and your legs drive it. It's better to go full drive, but there we go, we're all done. If you're having issues getting the catch right, then just rocking in and out. See, more rocking is enough. Right, keep moving up and down the rail, have a quick drink, and I'll quickly go over again what today's session is. All right then, so week 3, session 3 is a 30-minute row at 18 strokes per minute. Really exciting. Your pace is going to be 2k plus 20, which is an effort level of around about 5 or 6 out of 10, and means you should be able to hold a conversation with someone without too much trouble. Now, monitor-wise, you don't have to do anything convoluted today. You can just set 30 minutes. We both start together. We should both stop together, unless one of us has found a DeLorean, okay? Make sure and follow me for the stroke rate. 18 can be a little bit of an odd one to hold. And of course, I'll just talk the whole way through and keep you company, okay? With little bits of technique tips. The all-important what I'm having for dinner tonight. I know this is the only reason you guys ever tune into my videos, is to find out what I'm going to have for dinner that night. Yeah, and I'll just keep you company for half an hour. Like I say, this isn't the most exciting row in the world, but these bottom tier foundation engine building rows are actually one of the most important things you can do, okay? And of course, I'll bore you about that during the row. Are you ready for this then? In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Yep, this is it for half an hour. But as much as I'm being sarcastic about how exciting a row this is, like I said, don't underestimate the value of this kind of a row. It does so much for you. Gives you a chance to work on your technique, because everything's slowed right down. So if you know you have, like me, there's a bit of a gremlin in your stroke, you can use a session like this where the stroke feels quite slow to really work on ironing out any potential issues you have. So for me, my problem is that my butt gets a little overexcited and starts to slide down the rail too soon. So before I properly connect the leg drive up into the handle, I've been finding that my butt has travelled a good 6 inches first. So since spotting that, well actually, I've known I've been doing it for a long time, but there's one of the videos from, was it last week? Can't remember. From the outside ones when I had the bright yellow t-shirt on. And I saw just how bad my butt scoot was. And I could see the jolt that it was sending through my arms when I finally did connect. And if you've been watching any of the recent videos, you'll have seen I've been complaining about my shoulder. I'm so sure it's that jolt caused by the butt scoot that is not only preventing it from healing, but making it worse. And frankly, making me go a lot slower, because that 6 inches at the front of the stroke is absolutely vital. So anyway, once I'd identified one of the major flaws of my stroke right now, I've then spent rows at this kind of a stroke rate, like this and the 20 strokes per minute, really trying to focus on just hitting that catch here properly, as to minimise the butt scoot. And I mean, watching these videos back obviously helps, but I've also got a mirror over there set at an angle so I can watch myself as I row. Well, hey there, John. You look incredible. Hey. I don't really. Although, at least my hair's growing back. I don't have, well, the stripe I shaved into the top of my head isn't quite as noticeable anymore. Right, 5 minutes gone. 5 minutes already. But then, as well as giving you a chance to really slow down your stroke, and then work on things you know are wrong, it also gives you a chance to do the analysis while you're rowing. So, let's say we want to concentrate on having straight arms through the catch into the finish. Because you're slowed down, you have time to think, right, straight, to make sure you're setting them straight in the first place, and then on the other end you can go drive, bend, drive, bend, drive, bend, and really just alarm the other rowers in the gym. Is he barking? Drive, bend, drive, bend. Or my Malika Dalek. Anyway, you get what I mean. Or say you want to concentrate on the finish and then the release of the handle. At this pace, you can concentrate in, out, in, out, in, out. And you can really just concentrate on that one single element of the stroke, because you're not flying up and down the rail at a much higher stroke rate, where you're more concerned about hitting the stroke rate and hitting the pace. Whereas at 18 strokes a minute in 2K plus 20, this you just feel like you'll get out of breath, you'll generate a good sweat by the end of it because you've been working for half an hour. You should think, you know what, that was a good workout. But you'll finish feeling energized and hopefully looking to do more. which is a good thing because the next session in week 3, you get to do more, a lot more. So by doing a session like this and keeping your tank topped up energy-wise, you're all primed for the top tier session. Of course, I obviously realise that you might be watching this one slightly out of order. So this may be session 1 or session 5, who knows, but in terms of the way I'm filming these in order for the 6-day, 4-week plan, this is week 3, session 3, priming you for session 4 tomorrow or the day after, depending on where you're taking your rest day. Just remember, as long as you do the intensities in the right order, 10 minutes gone. As long as the intensities follow the structure, you can kind of swap in and out any row from my entire library. But like I've explained before, I just want to make sure you have all 24 workouts available in case you'd rather someone just told you what to do that day. Which, to be honest, can be a good thing. If you're left to make it up as you go along, quite often you pick the easier way out. I say you, I mean me. So, it's all here for you. Even, like in the case of a row like this, we've done the 30 minutes at 18 before in this plan. But I didn't want to just say, go back to the one I've already recorded, because, well, I don't want to overstay my welcome with making you watch the same routines over and over again, because I'm well aware that I may be thoroughly entertaining the first time round, but who knows on the second time round. Although maybe the second time round you just put me on mute, play some music instead, and just watch me for the stroke rate and the incredible shorts. Plus, I'm also using this training plan as rehab for myself, so I'm not going to cheat myself out of doing a session. And I suppose every week's different. Like session 2 wasn't the absolute destructive session 2. Like, well, week 2 felt awful. So what that means is in today's row I might feel a little bit fresher, than if I just migrated in another 18. Because like I say, this is all part of a plan, how it builds and falls in intensity, and how 1 week has its real intensity towards the front end of the week, whereas the other one has its intensity towards the back end of the week, which is what this week's like. I mean, it's hard enough. There isn't really a cookie cutter training plan for everyone. But I think the foundations of things like the peak plan and the Fitness Matters rowing plan and all the other ones out there, Dark Horse, they kind of cover a wide base, and then once you get used to it, if you feel it's no longer giving you the right benefit, it's a chance that it's because you're so well developed that we're halfway there, living on a prayer. Yeah, you could be so strong, having been on these plans, that if only for variation, it might be worthwhile hunting out an individual coach who will program it individually for your strengths and weaknesses. Of course, that'll cost. What I'm offering here and what the original peak plan offered is completely free. That's not to say if some rich benefactor came across the channel and said, "I will let you give up work to teach me how to row, and I will give you my stately home." If that happened, I'd be quite happy. Not that I don't enjoy my job, but I think I'd enjoy helping people get fitter and faster on the rowing machine. A bit more of a reward at the end, maybe. I don't know. I mean, viewing figures for the TV programs I make are in the millions, so I am entertaining a lot of people, but it's also very what's the word? There's no weight to it. TV program plays over the air for an hour and then it's gone and people move on to the next thing. Yes, there'll be reviews, repeats, and if I'm lucky, awards, but if I was able to take a £250 non-rower, help them lose £80 and suddenly be a fast rower, that'll be a lot more tangible. That's the word, tangible. That'll be a lot more tangible. However, while I'm dreaming, I'd also like an Audi R8, please. It's never going to happen, so it's a good thing I enjoy my job, and it's a good thing I enjoy doing this stuff for free for you.
which I seriously do. I mean, that whole last few minutes was just pipe dream stuff. It'd be lovely to make a living out of this, but I do love how I currently would make a living, so. And as I said, doing this training plan with you is helping me recover, because it gives me a chance to slow down, work on my technique, relax a bit, not worry about my own performance, because this is all about you. Even though I speak about or talk about myself all the time, trust me, this is all about you. I'm just the mannequin on the machine, moving backwards and forwards, distracting you, hopefully motivating you, maybe entertaining you with my particular brand of rubbish. I certainly do think I am in a niche of my own on this. Oh, hang on. And we are 20 minutes gone, 10 minutes to go. Yeah, I mean, I don't really see Shane from Dark Horse being quite as irrelevant at times as I am on the machine. Or is it Cameron Buchan? He's another one that just an absolute powerhouse that I don't think you'd have him discussing his dinner halfway through a row. That said, I haven't discussed mine halfway through yet. We're past 2/3. Maybe the only reason you continue this long is to find out what it is. You'll be terribly disappointed. Tonight's dinner, tonight, Matthew, is pork enchiladas. So pork mince, kidney beans, peppers, a whole bunch of spicy stuff, chopped tomatoes, all put into some wraps with grated cheese sprinkled across the top, and smoked paprika sprinkled on top of that. Make sure to cook the filling first. Don't just put raw pork in. Ugh. But once you put it all together, bung it in the oven for 20 minutes. Take them out, serve with a nice side salad, and maybe a big dollop of coleslaw. Put some olive oil and raspberry vinegar or balsamic vinegar on top of your salad, and away you go. Sounds like a nice dinner, doesn't it? Part of me is thinking about throwing in the towel just so I can go and start cooking my dinner. However, that's what I've got kids for. Don't worry. I wouldn't let them cook unsupervised. Although we did. Today, the three of us baked a big cake today. It's my wife's birthday tomorrow, and the kids decided they wanted to bake her a cake. nice chocolate cake, chocolate sponge cake with pink frosting. Oh, can't wait to taste this one. I'll have to row another couple of hours just to burn off the icing that's on top of it. Chocolate buttons around the outside. Oh, stop it. I'm starving. Stop talking food. Right, enough of that. 6 minutes to go, so we're on our final fifth of this row, which is typically when you might start to suffer a little bit from just a little bit of fatigue, get tired, things start to round off instead of staying nice and strong. So let's just go through a checklist as we count the timer down, okay? Let's talk shins first. Now this is one of the keys to my butt scoot. So make sure as you approach the front of the machine in your forward lean that you get your shins to vertical with the minimum amount of heel raise. You certainly don't want to go past vertical. And if you can't get to vertical, especially if you can only do it with a massive heel raise, then look at some flexibility of the ankles, hip flexors, and lower back. Because the point is, with vertical shins and heels close to the foot plate, you can just press your feet down and push the machine away, instantly connecting your feet, the handle, your butt, everything in one smooth drive out from the front. What you don't want to do is have your heels so far up that you either have to initiate the stroke with the balls of your feet, or in my case, that your butt scoots for a few inches until your heels connect. So that's my problem, is that I'm not getting my heels down quick enough and connecting from my feet up through my body into my arms and into the handle. So that's what I'm working on. And you don't want to drive off the balls of your feet, because that's not really where the majority of the power comes from. You want it to be like a deadlift, the start of a deadlift, where you plant your heels into the ground and press with your legs. Once you've initiated the drive, a deadlift and a rowing stroke differ, but that initial press is important. So next up, think about your forward lean with straight arms and try and maintain that through the drive. So here we go, you go drive, finish. Drive, finish. Drive, finish. Ideally, you'd keep that forward lean as long as possible, but for various mechanical reasons, maybe you initiate it, or the backward lean earlier than I'm suggesting, and in fact, probably around about what I'm doing. But for the perfect stroke, you'd really load up your back, drive through your legs, and then finish strong. And remember, all of this is done with a good, powerful, erect back, not bolt upright, just braced core, braced lower back. That helps you pick up at the front and finish at the back. Less than a minute to go. So, finally, make sure and get those hands over your knees to initiate the rock forward again. So hands away, rock. Hands away, rock. It's kind of a one action leads into the other. It's not hands away, rock. It's not that. It's you use the momentum of your hands away to initiate your hip rock. There we go. Then 2, last stroke. Good job. There we go. So I'm certainly good and sweaty. Certainly out of breath. That's mostly because I'm talking to you, but then, like I keep saying, I back off a couple of seconds so I can talk to you. Hopefully you feel the same. Hopefully you're not lying on the floor destroyed. If so, you went too hard. Hopefully you're not just sitting here bone dry and breathing easy because then you didn't go hard enough. Right, 2-minute cool down. Let's do it. Remember, you don't have to stop. When I stop, you can continue your cool down even as I'm doing my usual sign-off nonsense. And you can even keep on going with your cool down after that. I will allow you. As long as it's a cool down. So I'm 18 strokes a minute, 2K plus 35 right now. So really just paddling through, especially after a half hour at 18. You don't really need to keep the intensity up a little bit to help your heart come down. You can just use this cool down to just literally cool down. Let your body gently ease itself to a rest rather than crash down to a stop. Of course, adding in some stretching afterwards is always a good thing, especially if you find you have tight hamstrings or tight hip flexors from rowing, or if you have a sore shoulder. Anyway, so that was week 3, session 3 in the bag of the 6-day plan. If you haven't read the full document about this training plan, why it's here, how to do it, etc., I know it's a bit late to check it out now, but just in case this is a random one you've watched, make sure to go to pdprowing.com, which contains the training plan. And it'll explain things like why some of the rest times are so long and stuff like that. And remember, indoorrowinginfo.com is my main website about everything to do with indoor rowing, where you can also enter the FMMC, the monthly challenge that I run, which for July is a 60-minute time trial. How far can you go in 60 minutes? It's worthwhile entering. Depending in, I should finish recording these plan videos before that runs out, so I'll try and do a 60-minute row in July as soon as possible, so you can follow along if you want and then enter your score. Anyway, there we go. That's me kind of all done with everything today. Oh wait, there's the hashtag. What do we have as the hashtag today? What we talked about. We discussed enchiladas. I think I've done enchiladas before, so we can't do that one. Let's just go for rock. Hashtag rock. I was thinking Van Halen, but that's too precise. Hashtag rock, because today was all about rock, wasn't it? It was all about the music. It was all about rocking from the hips. It's all about rocking in and out the catch at the front, so hashtag rock. Simple. Even I can spell rock when I'm tired. Right, thank you so much. Make sure to leave comments. I do listen to you. Hopefully you've seen that I reply to every single one of them that come on it. So leave me a message, say hello, let me know if you enjoyed it. And yeah, have a great day, stay safe, be well, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.